chapter 2. Okay, chapter 2. Again, a very short chapter, only about half an hour of class. Okay. Okay. All right. So this is chapter 2.1. Okay. So 2.1 talks about user interface. Talks about user interface and a few command line interface as well. Okay, so at the end of this chapter, subchapter 2.1, you should be able to at least differentiate what is the difference between user interface and command line interface. Okay, so let's just start with a simple one here. Okay, so user interface is some sort of a program or sets of programs that sits as a layer above the operating system. Okay, so user interface is how a user actually connects with the program. Okay, so this is how examples of user interface which are available. Okay, which are available in the operating system. Okay, which are available in the operating system. Okay, so what happens here is on this icons, okay, as the user clicks on each of or any of these programs, okay, then the program will start to open and or to be activated, and then the user can use the program. Okay, can use the particular program. So this is how the architecture of the user interface looks like. So there are three types of user interface, but we are only going to cover the graphical user interface and the command line interface. Okay, so what happens is when the user clicks on a certain icon inside GUI, okay, this is the user face, the icon will actually call a system, will actually run a system call. Okay, system calls are specific operating system programs that will revoke or that will initiate the programs. Okay, that will initiate the programs. So each program in your PC will have these services. Okay, program execution, input operation, file system, communication, resource allocation, accounting, protection, and error detection. So all of these services are linked to one particular process. Okay, one particular process, or we can say is all linked to one particular program. Okay, one particular program. So when the user clicks on this, it will revoke the system call, and the system call will call one of the services. For example, if you double click on Notepad, for example, so it will go under program execution and start opening up the program, and the process will now appear. Okay, once the user types something, then automatically the operating system will do a input-output operation, because the keyboard is an input and the monitor itself is an output. And it will be displayed inside the monitor, which is considered the hardware. Okay, so we have two kinds of design interface that we are going to cover in this chapter. One is called the GUI, graphical user interface, and another one is called the command line interface. Okay, so the command line interface simply works whereby the user types in a specific command, and then this command is interpreted by the operating system, received, analyzed, and then executed. Okay, received, analyzed, and executed. So these are some types of commands that usually is used in this kind of operating system. If you're talking about MS-DOS or Windows, so these are some of the commands. Okay, to make it easy, let me show you some examples. All right, this is, let me see, let me go to, all right, so these are my folders inside my C drive. Okay, if I were to create a folder or a directory, I just simply right click, new folder, and this new folder appears. Okay, if I were to rename this folder, this is how I do it: right click, rename, and so on and so forth. Okay, but in a command line interface, we have to type in the specific command. Okay, so I'll just show you here. Okay, so if I were to type, we look here, dir, list a directory of files or get information about files. So if I were to type dir here, I'm able to see, where is this? I'm able to see the same thing over here. This is the graphical user interface. This is the command line interface. It's the same thing, directories, folders. So these are the same thing. Okay. Let's say I want to create a new file. Sorry, create a new folder. So the command is, if it's in the graphical user interface, I just right click. But if it's in the command line interface, I have to type in a specific command. So the command for creating a folder is called make mkdir, make directory, and directory's new name. Let's say Monday 25th October 2021. Enter, and as you can see, it appears here. So this is how you do in a command line interface. You have to remember the commands, and once I type enter, it opens it. The operating system translates this command and evokes the system calls, and automatically this folder appears, because this mkdir command means to create a specific folder. Let's say I want to delete this particular folder. The command is rm or delete. Okay, delete. So we just type delete Monday 25th October 2021. And if I press enter, are you sure? Yes. Enter. The folder disappears. Yes, sorry. Why is the folder not disappearing? Oh, sorry. Maybe I did it wrong. So let's try again. We delete Monday 25 October 2021. Yes. Enter. Why is it not disappearing? Refresh. Okay, it's still here. Maybe it's the wrong command. Okay, let me see. Oh, sorry. RM. RM. Okay. Oh, this delete is for a file. So we want to delete a folder, right? So sorry. So the command is RM. RM. Sorry. RM. RM. Monday 25 October 2021. Enter. Oh, wait. Let me see. Why am I? What is wrong? Delete. Delete Monday. Okay. I think I got it wrong. Enter. Yes. Folder is still here. why is the folder here? What is the command? Let's go back and see. Maybe we have to use erase. Erase and Monday 25 October 2021. Enter, yes, enter. Okay, it's not deleting. Why is it not deleting? Remove. Okay. Let's try something else. Oh, here we go. RMDIR. Okay, sorry. Okay. RMDIR. Monday 25 October 2021. Enter, and Monday disappears. Okay, so that is the folder. That is how you remove the particular folder. If you want to see what's inside the directory, you just type dir. So these are all the folders which are here, also here. If you want to open a particular directory, for example, I want to open new folder. So in the GUI, I just double click on it. However, in the command line interface, I have to type cd change directory new folder run is in run, enter. So now you get. So now we are actually inside the particular folder. You got here, so there are no files inside here. Okay. Let's say if you want to copy a file, it's just copy. Command is copy, and you copy a file from copy a file from one folder to another folder. Okay. So if you want to go back to the original main drive, you just type cd change directory / enter, and you type dir. It goes back to the C drive. In this case, you just click on C and it goes back here. Okay, so this is how we use the command line interface. Command. Okay, so these are some of the commands. This command is for MS-DOS or Windows, and these commands are for Unix or Linux. Okay, so what is the command language interface? It provides a mechanism to combine sequence of commands together. These pseudo programs are known as scripts or batch files. Okay, batch files. So you can the examples which I've given you just now are known as scripts. So these scripts will actually call the system call. Let's say type a command to rm make directory. It will call. It's a system call which will call one of these services. Okay. So how does it work? Is basically kalau GUI. The GUI, when you double click, the GUI will call the system call, and then the system call will call the services. So dalam command line interface pula, you type in the command will call the system call and the services. So who does all of this is the operating system. Okay, so the operating system will execute these commands. The features of the command language can accept inputs from users and output messages, provide ability to create and manipulate variables, macam tadi kita buat, a new folder, a new file. Okay, include the ability to branch and loop. That means you can branch out from one folder, you will create another folder, then you can change directory, you can come back, you can delete, and so many other things. Okay. It also provides error detection. Kalau salah tadi saya buat a few scripts yang salah or a few command line yang salah, dia akan keluarkan error message. Okay. So these are a batch file. A batch file pula is a kind of script in DOS. It contains a series of commands, okay, beberapa command to be executed by the command line interpreter, stored in a plain text file. Okay. So you can see this batch file inside your system. The extension belakang dia is .bat. Okay, BAT. Alright. So So this is an example of a DOS batch file. Okay, so this is an example. It's actually a programming language. So kita boleh save and we can find it later. Okay, maybe at the end of this class, you just copy this or you type this in your notepad and save it as a .bat, and then you double click on it and see what happens. Okay, you can do it later. This is the unique script. Okay, a graphical user interface is what you are most commonly used. Is basically the graphics. So when you double click an icon here, so it actually opens up and it runs the program. So what is the operating system is doing is when you double click, it's actually revoking a system call, and then the system call will actually call the services which are available. Sama juga macam Linux. Okay, sama juga macam Mac, all of it. Okay. All right, the advantages or the difference between a command line interface and graphical user interface. Ease of use, obviously paling senang is GUI because it's much more user friendly. Kalau you nak right click, kalau you nak create a new folder, you right click. Kalau you nak delete, you just press delete. Kalau you nak rename, you right click only. Copy paste is just drag and drop. But for the command line interface operating systems, you need to remember the script. You need to remember the instructions. Okay, if you do not remember the instructions, it will be very difficult. It gives you more control because you actually know what you want to do. You have to do it. Although GUI offers plenty of control of a system file, of a file system, but it's much more better to use a command line interface for controlling. Multitasking also both allows, but again, graphical user interface is very much better. Speed, graphical user interface is better. Appearance, yes, graphical user interface is better, and the same as goes for resource as well. So these are the differences and between CLI, command line interface, and graphical user interface. Okay, that's very short chapter. Okay. So basically, what we have done here is this. What you see here is a command line interface. So whatever I type here, the screen, whatever I type here is what we say as the script. Okay. So these are the files which are available. What ni? Sama aja. So kat sini pun sama. It's the same thing, but only in Windows operating system, a directory is called a folder. Okay, so these are the folders. Nampak ni, Imran April, kat sini pun ada Imran April, Imran testing, kat sini pun ada testing, new folder Imran, so on and so forth. Okay, so if you in a command line interface, macam saya belajar dulu, you have to remember each and every command. Kalau you nak copy, dia ada command dia. Kalau you copy, dia ada command dia. So kalau you silap, if you made a mistake, it's called a syntax error. But if you don't remember the command, there's always a help button. Help button. So these are the scripts which are, the commands which are available from these are the commands which are available that you can use. For example, copy from one or more files to another location. Okay, for example, let's try this. Inside April, let's do a new file. Let's do a new Word document file called testing October 2021. Okay, 2021. Let's say we want to copy October 2021 inside testing. So we want to copy this file inside testing. Okay. So how do we do it? Okay, let's try here. Full screen, copy. First we have to go into April, cd Imran, April 2021. Okay, we are now inside the folder and we see what's the file name. Where is the file name? Okay, it's here. October, copy October 2021.docx to the destination. Destination pun kena sama. The destination that you want it to be is inside Imran testing. Let's see if it works. Copy to C Imran testing. It should be the same. Kalau dia huruf besar kena samalah. Enter. Nampak? Alah. Okay, let's try again. Copy October 2021.docx docx to cd to c / Imran testing ing. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Enter. One file copy. So now, kalau kita buka Imran testing, we see the file here. So this is how you do the command. Okay. So, but you can't see it. Okay, you can't see it. You just have to visualize it's there. So it's here. Kalau kita balik ke sini, we open CD Imran testing. The screen, dir, you can see the file is here. And inside this testing file, there are two new files. So that is basically how you do the testing command inside Windows. All right, very short. I have to leave you now because I have to join the conference. Any questions before we end? Very short class today.
No.
No? Okay.
No.
All right.
No, sir.
No? Okay. Thank you so much. So sorry, I have to leave you. So I have to enter a conference. Thank you so much for attending. Do not forget to sign my attendance in the future. And